Hello everyone, Elias5891 here with another KTANE module tutorial. This time we're covering the Human Resources module. This is one that I actually did the manual for, so don't worry, I know how to do this one. It is edgework independent. We won't need the edgework at all, so we can kind of skip over that stage, go straight to the module itself. For the module, you're going to have a list of 10 names, 5 green, 5 red, and 5 personality descriptors, 3 red, 2 green. The idea is you have current employees in green, applicants in red, you have complaints, and desired traits. And it kind of goes 2 steps. For the first step, you're going to look at the green names, the current employees, and the red traits, the complaints, and you're going to fire someone. Then you're going to look at the red names, applicants, the green traits, desired, and hire someone. Here's how you're going to do it. Well, we need to communicate to the expert what we have here. Everybody does this differently. What I personally like to do is read all the green names, all the red traits, because that's what you use in the first stage, and then all the red names and all the green traits. It's up to you how you want to do that. I am going to go that route with it, and I'm going to use the TimWe website to highlight appropriately. So, as the diffuser, I will tell my expert, alright, got human resources, green names, and I like to go ahead and announce what I'm saying. That way, if they are used to a different method, they can kind of adjust on the fly. Alright, green names, I have River, Tim, Caleb, Samuel, and Ashley. Red names, red traits, I have the designer, the intellectual, and the director. For red people, I have Dylan, Noah, Eliott, Silas, and Ursula. And for desired traits, I have the innovator and the entertainer. The innovator and the entertainer. And you'll notice that I changed the coloring of the highlights. Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, Alt 4 will do that if you're in a standard browser. So we have everything marked here on our sheet. I use paper manual, so I actually have to write it out, but highlighting it, in all honesty, is probably a little easier. Here's what we're going to do. For first stage, we're going to fire someone based on the 3 complaints, the 3 red traits. So, we're going to look at each of those 3 red traits, and we're going to look at the MBTI type associated with those traits. That kind of relates to the Myers-Briggs test and traits like that. So the 3 red ones were designer, director, and intellectual. So those would be INTJ, ENTJ, ENTP. Now, here's the way the module is going to do things. It's going to ask us to look at the 4 different traits. The IE column, the N column, the T column, the JP column. If something is unanimous between all 3 traits, it is required. In this case, N and T are in both, or in all 3 rather, of the descriptors I have. They're all 3 N's, they're all 3 T's. So that's going to be required. For the others, if it's not unanimous, we're going to look at the majority, and that's going to be a preferred trait. That would be an E and a J would be preferred. So we're looking for optimally someone who's an ENTJ, but lacking that, we're going to look at N and T's, and then we're going to look to prefer to have an E or a J. What I like to do first off, optimal will be ENTJ. Is that an option? In this case, actually, yes, I do have an ENTJ as a person currently hired, Ashley. So that's going to be who I eliminate. They have both required traits and both preferred traits. So we're going to fire Ashley. So we're going to find Ashley, fire him. Alright, stage 1 is done. We don't need any of this anymore. We don't need these anymore. Now, Ashley is the one we fired. So you'll notice for the greens we only have 2 descriptors by default. But the person that we fire gives us our third one. So since we fired Ashley, Director becomes a preferred trait now. So let's look at our 3 preferred traits. We have the Innovator, ISTP. We have the Director, ENTJ. We have the Entertainer, ESFP. First off, we're looking for required traits. We actually don't have any. Nothing is unanimous. I's and E's, S's and N's, T's and P's, or T's and F's, P's and J's. So no required, so it's all going to be preferred. We have 2 E's, so that's preferred. We have 2 S's, that's preferred. We have 2 T's, that's preferred. And we have 2 P's, that's preferred. ESTP would be optimal. Let's see, do we have an ESTP? Actually, we do, Noah. So we're going to hire Noah. And that's this module cleared. Let's send this one away, see if we can get one that's a little, maybe got a little more variability to it. There's my green names to start. There's my red titles to start. Alright, green names. We have Caleb, Yoshi, Samuel, Noah, and Tim. Red characteristics, red traits, red descriptors. We have the Auditor, the Director, and the Designer. Red names, we have Silas, Damien, Quinn, River, and Eliott. Preferred characteristics, preferred descriptors, we have the Deviser and the Intellectual. Deviser, there we go. Alright, we need to fire someone, so we look at the 3 red traits. Auditor, ISTJ. Director, ENTJ. Designer, ENTP. Do we have anything unanimous? Actually, yes, we do. The T is consistent. Preferred traits, we have an E, an N, and a J. So ENTJ would be perfect. We, however, do not have an ENTJ. That would have been Ashley, but we don't have Ashley as a choice. So this is a little more interesting. So we are only going to consider people who have as many required traits as possible. So of my choices, do any of them have a T? Yes. Yes, multiple ones have T's. So we are only looking at T people. So Yoshi, out. Caleb, out. You're a T, you're a T, you're a T. So we've already eliminated 2 people from the choice. Now we're looking for who has the most matching preferred. We want to match ENTJ. We know they're going to at least have one thing in common. Samuel is an ISTP. He only has 1 in common. Noah is an ESTP. He has 2 in common, the E and the T. Tim is an ENTP. That's 3 in common, ENT. So that is the most we have. So Tim is who we're going to fire. Since we fired Tim, his trait becomes a desired one. We can get rid of the other red traits and green people. So now we look at the green traits. We have INTJ, INTP, ENTP. Do we have commonalities? Yes, we have E and T as required. We have I and P as preferred. So INTP would be perfect. That would be Damien. We do have Damien as a choice, so that's who we're going to hire. Alright, so I've done 2. Let me give you one. Let's blank the screen for just a moment. I'll read out to you the people and the traits. Give it a try, pause to work it out, and then we will come back and take a look. Green names. We have Silas, River, Ursula, Eliott, Samuel. Traits. We have the confidant, the educator, the contributor. Red people, we have Noah, Caleb, Yoshi, Tim, Rebecca. Traits preferred. Positive traits, we have a green chameleon and defender. Go ahead and work this out, see what you get. Alright, let's see what you got. Screen on. For our negative traits, we have the confidant, INFJ, the educator, ENFJ, and the contributor, ESFJ. Across all three of these, we have F and J in common. So real quick, we will glance at our people choices to see who's left with F and J. River has just one of those. Samuel doesn't have any. River has one. Samuel doesn't have any. Eliott has both F and J, FP, TJ. Eliott is the only one who's both an F and a J. So it has to be Eliott. So we're going to fire Eliott. That's going to make the educator trait desired. So our desired traits for our hiring, we want defender ISFJ, chameleon ISFP, and educator ENFJ. F is required. It is common to all of them. Between the other choices, I, S, and J are most common. So ISFJ would be perfect. That would be Yoshi, which we have. Had we not had Yoshi, then we would have eliminated anybody who didn't have an F. So we knocked out Rebecca, knocked out Tim, knocked out Noah, and then counted matching traits in whoever was left. Now, occasionally, you will have 2, maybe even 3 required traits, and nobody has all of them. In that case, you're just going to go by whoever has the most required traits. So technically, the required traits are not required per se, they're just more a higher priority than the preferred traits. But that is how you go through human resources. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions about this one, video or module in this case, feel free to leave them in the section down below as always. Until next time, guys, this has been Eliott. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Don't explode. Bye.